What's going on, guys? This is Yacineygo. So we just got some new RB support as TCG exclusive in Doom of Dimensions. So yeah, it's hopefully it's going to be good and much better than last time. Obviously, it was just the first wave of support, so it doesn't necessarily mean that it was, you know, conclusive or anything. It's not like you can really usually build a deck off of like the first wave, except for some exceptions, you know, like Burning Abyss. Mitsurugi was already insanely good, and Mitsurugi only needed like a second wave of support to be, you know, a top tier strategy. Whereas with RB, you know, the first wave was so, I don't know, underwhelming and incomplete that hopefully the second wave is going to push it to the next level. So yeah, let's get right into it as soon as you smash the like and subscribe button. So this card is RB Lambda Cannon, level 6 Dark Machine, very weak stats. All of them have pretty weak stats overall, but it's like not weak enough to be Clockwork Knight fodder, so it's just a little weird. Anyways, if this card is no more special summon, you can target an RB monster in your grave except itself, add it to your hand. Okay, so it recurs back. When this card is linked to an RB link monster, you can pay 12, destroy this card, and if you do, look at your opponent's hand and you can special summon one monster from it to their field, but negate its effects. Oh, that's actually so interesting. And then you can only use each effect once per turn. That is such a cool effect because now, like, if your opponent has like an Ash or something, you can just force it out immediately. And also same thing with like Droll and stuff like that. It's just such a good card. I don't know, this is pretty awesome, but like it doesn't summon itself, and it's still a level 6 monster. Obviously, if you're just playing like pure RB, it's pretty easy to summon just about anything, because I think there's a normal spell that's like custom card support, but hold on a second. I think it's the field spell. Yeah, it summons an RB monster from the deck or extra deck with a different name than the card you control, and it's not even like once per turn, but then it locks you under, you know, only being able to summon a machine monsters with 1500 or less original attack from the extra deck during the turn you activate this card. So it's not like for the rest of the turn. That's the reason why RB, it's not like an engine that you can easily splash in everything because of like the huge restriction on like literally the best card in the deck, which is Stage Landing. And I've always found this to be a little unfortunate. And the fact that this is a level 6, I don't know, it would have been cool if it was a level 4, but not the end of the world. Honestly, really good effect, so at least I can't complain there. But obviously it also has to be linked. So, you know, by itself, it doesn't necessarily do anything, but obviously still a good card. RB Lambda Blade, level 7 Dark Machine. So obviously, you know, level 7s, you know, you can make Draco Sack into Cherubini. You can already make Cherubini with two level 3 monsters. So Crystron potential, but like you can't play Crystron RB K9 because there's so much conflicting. Anyways, if this card is no more special summon, you can send an RB card from your deck to the grave, except itself. Okay. During your opponent's main phase, if this card is linked to an RB link monster quick effect, you can pay 14. Pretty big life point payment, but it doesn't matter because time is no longer a thing. Then target one monster upon controls, destroy this card, and if you do take control of that monster, but destroy it during the end phase. That's interesting, so at least you don't have to give it back. I like that, and then each effect is once per turn. I mean, it's a cool disruption. Obviously, stealing is always going to be better than destroying, because now even if the monster is indestructible, you can still get rid of it. But like on the end phase, if it's indestructible, then it stays on your field. So that's even better. You know, if you steal like a Winda or something, then you got like a permanent Winda on like your field, so like you're in the driver's seat. I think this is a cool card. Then again, it doesn't like summon itself easily, which is another turnoff, but it is what it is. I don't know if like there's more like easier way. I don't know, like I guess the field spell, it's not too bad. But like the first wave of support, every single RB monster in the main deck, I mean there's only 3, but all of them could special summon themselves from the hand if you control no face up or only RB monsters. So that's like what's missing with like these new cards. They're all high level and they can't summon themselves like right away for free. So yeah, that's painful. Anyways, RB GA10 Pile Bunker, level 8 Earth Machine. These two were darks, both of the Lambdas. So yeah, 15-15. And then if you control no face up, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's the exact same thing as like the old cards. So just all the Earth Machines, they're all the same, I guess. This is once per turn when an attack is declared involving an opponent's monster. And RB the Brute Blues, so not itself. The Brute Blues is the Link 3, the first one that was actually that's a pretty good card. Hold on a second. That points to this card. You can pay 15, destroy all cards the opponent controls, and this card. Okay, so it's good, but obviously it's either reactive like Mirror Force or it's proactive on your own turn, but like it's a battle phase effect. So battle phase effects are usually not the best. Tenpai Dragon is like one of the only decks that really made it work because that was a scam deck where every single card in your deck except for Fadra was a 1-card OTK or a hand shop. So this is nice, but it's a little too slow to my liking. But at least it summons itself, so I'll kind of give it a pass. RB Shepherd's Crook, Link 3 Dark Machine, 1500 attack, and then it points to nothing to your opponent, so that's cool. 2+ monsters, including an RB monster. I think the other ones were generic. It was just like machine monsters. So it gains 500 attack for each monster control except this card. You can only use each of the following effects of RB Shepherd's Crook once per turn. During your main phase, you can set an RB trap from your deck or grave. Okay, wow, that's cool. So you're under draw, you can still get value. During your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can target 3 level 3 or higher RB monsters in your grave. You place 2 on the bottom of the deck in any order, and then you summon the other in defense. That's nice, but it's only on the opponent's main phase. That's kind of a turn-off. It would have been cool if it was like during each main phase, so that, you know, like you summon one monster on your turn, you summon another on your opponent's turn, every single time you just keep getting value. This card is still decent, obviously, because of how easy it is to summon off of the stage landing, which I've already mentioned is like such an incredible card. Yeah, you can easily summon both like Link 3 monsters using only stage landing, and then you're also setting an RB trap in the process. And you can also, I mean, currently there is no RB trap, but I'm assuming there is obviously like a new RB trap that has to be good, otherwise this card kind of just doesn't really do anything. But yeah, it's alright, I guess. RB Operation Test, continuous spell card. When this card is activated, you can target a level 3 or higher RB monster in your grave, summon it. A lot of things that just like summon back from the grave, or like recur back from the graveyard, or like set back from the grave. But usually that's not really what makes decks really good. Like, we just need more action from the deck and stuff like that. Like, that interacting with the deck is how like you get decks to be like super consistent and super reliable. So by default, this is like a worst effect. But then again, you know, there's already, you know, the field spell and stage landing, so I can't complain too much. Anyways, you can target any number of RB monsters you control, gain life points equal to their combined original attack. And if you do, return them to the hand and extra deck, then you can special summon an RB monster from your hand. This just feels like such an underwhelming effect. And then also it's once per turn, and you can only activate this card once per turn. Gaining life points would have been broken with like the old time rules, but now it's just irrelevant. So if you have to like bounce back a lot of your monsters, especially to the extra deck, it's a huge downgrade. To like to the hand, it's fine, because then you can just summon it back. Or like a lot of RB monsters, like all the Earth Machines, as I mentioned, they can all summon themselves back from the hand if you either control no monsters or only RBs. So it's usually okay, but if you're bouncing back like the Lambda monsters, it kind of sucks. Again, it's still fine because you can just summon it off of this effect, and then you can get like the recursion off of Lambda Cannon. I don't know, I'm just a little underwhelmed by this card specifically. To me, this is not a 3 of, this is a 1 of, and that's it, you know? It's not on the same level as the other spells. Anyways, now we've got 2 trap cards. So RB Last Stand, which is a normal trap. So you special summon an RB monster from the deck, extra deck, or grave with a different name than the cards you control. Okay, sure, so that's pretty much like stage landing, but as a spell card, which obviously is nice. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you can't summon monsters from the extra deck except Machine Monster. Holy crap, my throat again. Every single time, my bad. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets an RB monster you control, you can banish this card from your grave and negate the effect, and then you can only use 1 RB Last Stand effect per turn, only once that turn. I think this was a little unnecessary because Stage Landing does not have this drawback. Stage Landing is not once per turn, and it's a spell. So spell cards by default are better than trap cards, especially if they have the same effect, because, you know, with a spell card you get value right away, with a trap card you gotta wait a full turn. So I think this effect is like this card is strictly worse than Stage Landing, and also slower. It's like worse in every single way imaginable. So it's, I don't know, like the Graveyard effect is fine, obviously. You can protect yourself from Imperm Veiler, and you can still Foolish it off of this card right here, the Lambda Blade. So that, you know, that's cool if your opponent's like trying to hold Veiler and Imperm for later. But this is definitely not like a fantastic card. And finally, we've got RB Next Phase, counter trap card. Again, like you can set it easily with a Link 3, and you can also, you know, recruit it back from the graveyard. So you just set it back every single turn. If it's a good effect, then that's awesome. When your opponent activates a monster effect, we'll control an RB monster. Destroy 1 monster you control, and if you do, negate the activation. And if you do that, destroy that card. Then you gain 2,000 life points. Again, the gaining life points part, all it really does is like compensate for all the life points payment that a lot of the cards have. Like, you know, pay 12, pay 14, pay 15. Obviously, you're always paying like an amount that is equal to like the attack of the monsters. I think this theme is not new. RBG 810 Driller, yeah, pay 5, 7, 1,000. Yeah, it's the exact same thing for all the Earth Machine monsters. Actually, for all the main deck monsters. My bad. So that's nice that you can kind of like recoup back some of your costs, but then again, you're not winning in time, so gaining life points is not like the same thing. It's not like GWC, oh, extend Handshake Turbo. And also, like, this is a counter trap that only negates monster effects. Would have been nice if you could negate spells and traps too, you know, like Salmon Grid Roar. And again, because of how easy it is to recur, that would have been like perfect. that would have just been like exactly what this deck asked for in terms of like the one of trap card that you want to play. Because usually you're not trying to play multiple trap cards in a deck, unless it's a trap deck, obviously. Or like Malice, where the trap cards are, you know, fast trap cards. You can use them right away. They're pretty much extenders. And they're like good resource cards. And even then, even in Malice, like people are still usually choosing to play two trap cards instead of 3. Or sometimes in some extreme cases, only play the bare minimum, which is the, I'm blanking, but the trap card that banishes. Yeah, MTPO7, there you go. So what I think about these cards, I think only one of these trap cards will be played, I think, but I could be wrong. Maybe this card is going to be a little better just because, you know, obviously it's summons, so it's a little easier to trigger than this card, and also this card as a counter trap card, I feel like it's a little too underwhelming. Easily could have been better, and also you still have to like destroy monster control, which is great if you got a field spell, but if you don't, then it does literally less than nothing. So I think like cards like Lightning Storm Duster against this deck, they go a long way, because they get rid of the field spell, which is fantastic in your deck, but also get rid of like this card in the process, and you can't negate it, which is a huge turnoff to me. So I think this card is worse than Last Stand. So if anything, people are just going to be playing one copy of Last Stand. Operation Test, I really honestly just see it as a one-of, because it's like a Monster Reborn effect, but it doesn't interact with your deck, as I've said. So that's a little unfortunate. And then the Link 3 is cool. No complaints there. I think it's a decent card. But it's more of like a grind game card, you know? Like this effect is not super easy to like trigger. 3 level 3 or higher RB monsters. It's not like up to 3 and then, you know, place however amount you want and then you summon 1. No. Like it really has to be 3 level 3 or higher. So that's a little bit of a turn off for me there. And then the main deck monsters, kind of wanted these monsters to be able to like summon themselves from the hand like naturally. But it is what it is. Obviously you can't always have everything. So I think this really just like glorifies, like it's just like a second wave of support for a deck that desperately needed like a great wave of support. This is not great, it's good, but I'll give it like a 6 out of 10. You know, I can't clickbait, I can't lie, I can't be dishonest and say that this is exactly what the deck needed, even though a lot of these cards are great. Overall, it's just not enough in my opinion. But yeah, you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.